the show's been very therapeutic this season, at least as a viewer, because I think we're all grasping for whatever we can. So
Yeah.
talk about it. What kind of reaction are you getting from audiences and fans this season?
I don't think it's ever our goal when we sit down to really address these issues. It just sort of comes out of Alana and I feeling frustrated about whatever we're talking about, whatever's going on. It's been really great to be able to infuse that into these characters because they're going through it too. They're really trying to find some sort of hope and some sort of something. They're really trying to be better and to get more involved and to be more woke, and they fail sometimes, but it's been really nice for us to get to write about it and get to play with it as actors, and we both directed episodes this season, so that was a whole other part added on.
Well, Witches in particular, which I believe you directed,
Yes.
correct? So, what was that experience like in doing that episode and getting a chance to show some, really, slides of powerful women and really sort of just say something, but at the same time still be Broad City?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, our goal is always to be funny first. This episode is a little bit more heavy-handed than usual, but it was the one that, we wrote the season in the spring of 2016, and then we had this long hiatus, which we've never had before, and then the election happened, and then we came back, and there were a couple episodes that we would have had to rewrite regardless, and that was one of them. And then the election went a certain way, the way it did, and we were just it's all we could talk about, and so it just kind of crept in, and then we found especially Alana's storyline, not being able to orgasm since the election, and my storyline, which dealt with a lot of the ways in which women are viewed as they get older, and a lot of the things that you think about as a woman as you get older, and the insecurities and how you're supposed to look and feel. And we've been talking a lot about witches and the positivity. I think Alana and I are both really influenced by older women. It was a really incredible process because it was probably one of our most problematic scripts from the beginning, and then it turned into one that I think we're both most proud of. And I said this somewhere before, but there is this montage that we did in the edit of the president, it through Alana's imagination. The first time we go into her imagination, it's that, and then the next time is the slideshow you're talking about with women that we're inspired by, and it felt just as radical, if not maybe more, for us to take 15 seconds of airtime to show slides of women.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about, obviously you've been inspired by a lot of female comedians who came before you. Now you're inspiring a whole new generation. Do you feel the weight of that, or what's sort of your hope in what you might be inspiring for the next generation of young women who maybe want to, join your field?
I guess I do acknowledge that as a possibility. It's kind of hard to wrap my mind around that. But that episode in particular, just, we had Jane Curtin was this witch, Margot, that I play opposite. And to have her, someone that I have looked to as this inspirational woman, it felt so right to have her in that episode in particular. And then I don't know, I guess I can't really even think about that. I just kind of have to do my thing. And if people are inspired by it, that is incredible. But I don't know, I guess I have to try and keep thinking about what I want to say and how can I say it responsibly but also radically.
Well, it's got to be gratifying, just the amount of accolades the two of you have gotten, and it's allowed you to do so much. I know you're doing a podcast now. I mean, you're doing so much now, and it just must be so gratifying being at this stage of your career.
It's pretty incredible. I kind of have to process it, or haven't. The podcast, I mean, MoMA approached me about this podcast about visual art because of the Broad City, and I don't know, to merge those two fields of interest is incredible, and I feel pretty lucky and excited about where I am right now.